Dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack and flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yo, what's good, original crew, man? We're back. Hey, man, we're back. We got a movie react today. I don't know what you get a pen for.
I'm minding your business.
I am minding my business. We all heard that. We finna watch a movie. What we need a pen for?
Sometimes I just need my pen in front of me.
But today's movie we got In Time. When this come out? I've never heard of this. 2011, or have I? You know, it looks familiar. And maybe it's one of those movies you watch, but you never caught it. Like you caught it on TV, but you never
caught
got
it like in the middle or
and you never got
end.
the title of it. You know?
Yeah, maybe so.
Maybe so. Hey, let's get it. Let's check this out. Let's see what it's about. Grab your popcorn. Grab your snacks. Grab your juju beans. Whatever. Grab your drink. You know what I'm saying? Let's vibe out to a movie. Again, for those who don't know, we like to do the movie shorts. Reason why, if you enjoy the short of the movie, go watch the original movie in depth. Mm-hmm. The last one we did, C enjoyed that short, even though y'all was hating in the comments. C, we ended up going to watch it, was The Long Walk. And C, you know what I'm saying, she broke down.
I didn't break down.
You did cry. But let's go. Let's check this out. Let's see what's about. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine waking up one day and checking your bank account, except it doesn't show you money. It shows you exactly how long you have left to live.
Yes,
every coffee you buy, every bus ride, every meal, it all costs you minutes, hours, or even years of your life. The rich have centuries stored up, basically living forever, and the poor, they're running out of time every single day. So Will Salas wakes up and he got just under 24 hours left. He did have more, but he bought his mother a champagne bottle for her 50th. Yeah, she's actually 50. In this world, everyone stops aging at 25, but that's when the clock on your arm starts counting down. So technically, we got grandmas and great-grandmas looking fine as hell. DiCaprio will love this world. His mother Rachel gives him 30 minutes before she heads off to a work trip. Will also heads out and links his best friend Burrell. They grab coffee and head to their shift. Right away you can tell how brutal it is in the ghetto. People are literally dead in the streets after running out of time. Nobody even stops or cares. That's just the norm in this part of town. After their shift they get paid, but the economy is completely out of control. Everything's expensive and workers are barely getting paid enough to survive. It's like they work all their life just to stay afloat. That night Will heads to the bar to link Burrell, and there was some guy at the bar buying everyone drinks. Even the girls at the bar were trying to leave with him. They were really trying to... Will takes a look at him and notices something insane. This guy has over 116 years stored up. Yeah, he's rich. Clearly not from their side of town. He from the burbs. This guy here makes a phone call and Will immediately tells him he needs to leave or someone's gonna clean his clock. And Brody did not care. He was just chilling. Not long after, a group of goons pull up and tear through the bar. One of them, well, their leader, Fortes, locks eyes with Henry and says, "That's a really nice watch. Do you mind if I try it on?" Fortes offers to fight him for it. And when I say fight, I'm not talking about Nah, their type of fighting is different. They lock arms with each other, which is basically like an arm wrestling match, and whoever wins starts draining time directly from the other person's clock until they're completely out. Henry heads to the bathroom feeling sick. I guess the nerves got him. When he gets up ready to time fight, Will smacks the door on Brody's face. Pop! He grabs the immortal and they run out the back. Fortes and his boys run after them. They get in their cars, but Will and Henry were too quick. They duck into this garage, head upstairs and lose them completely. Will couldn't understand why this guy was being so careless, but then Henry explains it all. He's been alive for over 100 years. He's done everything, seen everything, and watched countless people live and die. Henry then tells Will how the system is rigged. Every year they raise the cost of living in the ghettos so more people can time out. While the rich keep getting richer and live forever, the poor struggle and die. But here's the thing, Henry tells him there's enough time for everyone to live a normal life, but the rich just want to keep it. Man, I can't lie, if life really worked like this,
that's crazy. I have seen this before though. I 100% have. Have you?
I don't think I have.
see, like, it's one of the ones I'm gonna have to go watch. I will recommend it. I will recommend it. It's one of those, like I said earlier, like I feel like I watched it and didn't know the title.
Yeah.
But for sure. That's crazy. What if something like this happened for real?
Yeah. Crazy.
Live a normal life, but the rich just want to keep it. Man, I can't lie. If life really worked like this, nobody would be paying for subscriptions. Shit, I don't even know if there will be movies because nobody's going to be sitting down and wasting 3 hours of their day.
True.
Everyone will be up at like 5 a.m., making most of that 24 hours. They both spend the night there, and the next morning Henry wakes up before Will, and he quietly transfers almost all of his time to Will, leaving him with just 5 minutes. When Will finally wakes up, he checks his arm and it's 116 years. He rushes to the window and spots Henry sitting on a bridge. He tries running out to save him, but
Oh my goodness.
nah, timing out
ready
almost
to
feels
die.
like Light Yagami wrote your name on his book. Delete! So Will heads to Burrell's crib to check up on him, and damn! His wife bad as shit. Okay, Burrell, I was not familiar with your game. So Will shows Burrell his time, and Brody was in disbelief because ain't no way. Burrell lets him know with that amount of time out here, he will get killed. But Will already knew that. He gives him a decade. He sees the bar lights open, and you already know where he was going. I thought I was a drinker. Shit, I guess not. Meanwhile, Will's mom Rachel gets off work and tries to catch a bus home, but overnight they've raised the fare. The ride now costs 2 hours and she only has an hour and a half left. She pleads with the bus driver, but he did not care. He literally looks down on her arm and says, "You better run." Even when she looks around to the passengers for help, they just look away. Man, I can't lie. If I was on that bus and I had an hour to spare, she would have had 2, maybe 3.
Maybe 10 minutes, but
So she hops out and gets the running. Time was not on her side. Cars didn't stop, people ran into their homes, and Will realizes she wasn't on the bus, so he starts running back towards her. He finally sees her down the street and they run straight at each other. But as soon as he got close, yeah, she times out, straight to the shadow realm. The next day, Will orders a car to New Greenwich, the part of the city where the rich live, where Henry came from. On the way there, every checkpoint charges a toll. Crossing into each time zone costs anywhere from 1 to 3 months of your life. Yeah,
1 to
that's how
3
they kept
months?
the poor trapped in the ghettos. By the time Will reaches New Greenwich, he already spent an entire year. The second he arrives, everything feels different. Everyone's dressed in expensive clothes. Nobody looks stressed, in a rush. Matter of fact, nobody even runs. So when Will starts jogging for a sec, everyone immediately knows my boy ain't from here. They were well aware he was from Delaware. What the hell is there? Open fields and hella deer. So Will checks into a hotel for the night, and the next morning, while he's eating breakfast, he asks the waitress how he can get into the casino. She tells him it's simple. Just change your clothes and wear something a little more classy.
You're not from around here, are you? You do everything a little too fast.
Not everything. I can see what they're doing, what he's doing. I can see it, I feel it. He's cooking.
The timekeepers pull up to investigate the death of Henry, but they didn't really care about his life. They were more concerned about where his time went. He had way too many zeros on his arm, and they did not want anyone to have that.
Hey, Ray, I'll give you 10 minutes for an hour.
Oh, say less.
The timekeepers get a hit on some unusual activity. They pull up the CCTV footage and identify the man with the massive time transfer.
Will Salas.
Oblivious to all that, Will heads to the casino where it costs him an entire year just to go through the front door. Yeah, this is clearly where the 1% be hanging out. He heads upstairs and joins a high stakes poker game. Confident in his hand, he pushes almost everything into the pot, leaving literally only 30 seconds. But he knew exactly what he was doing. He turns over the better hand and wins. And just like that, Will walks away with a 13-figure fortune. Philippe Weiss, the guy he just beat, introduces him to his daughter, Sylvia. Her ass been looking at Will the entire night. She invites him to their house party, and Will was like, bet. The next day, with all the money he won, Will treats himself to a brand new car. My boy hit the dealership and bought a car that cost him 59 years. Woo! Nah. How much do you guys reckon that would have cost in dollars? 1 mil? 6 mil? 10 mil? Car's clearly worth more than everyone in the ghetto. The next day at the party, Will spits game on Sylvia and they get on the dance floor and start doing that wedding dance thing, whatever it's called. She starts yapping and tells Will she envies people from the ghetto because they have something to live for. She's been rich her whole life and never even done anything dangerous. Both of her security guards barely even leave her sight. This was crazy to Will because he lives life on the edge. They both sneak out the back and this girl got a whole beach in her backyard and Will was like, ain't no way. He runs straight in and he somehow convinces her to join. Skinny dipping on the first link? I guess he wasn't lying in his lyrics. Her bodyguard comes looking for her right before they're about to kiss, so they quickly both hop out and get back inside. Had her dad terrified for a sec. Tommy Shelby and the timekeepers crash the party and pull Will aside and start questioning him about the time on his arm. Will tells them he won half of it for playing poker and the rest was gifted to him by Henry Hamilton. Yeah, they don't buy it for a sec. So Tommy confiscates almost all of Will's time, leaving him with only 2 hours, barely enough to make it back to the ghetto. But Will wasn't about to leave that easy. He gets up, snatches the gun, runs out the room, Spartan kicks this geezer, jumps down, grabs Sylvia, they run out the back, knock this guy out, jump in the car, and they take off. Those timekeepers were on his ass, cause he had an asset worth more than the time he actually had.
You're gonna kill us. Please just let me out.
Ray bumps him from behind, the car spins around, and Will starts driving backwards, hitting the Dom Toretto. He drifts out the way, Brody crashes into a truck, and just like that, they get away and head straight back into the ghetto. And I don't get this, like how did they get back into the ghetto without going through the zones? Is there like a different way? Or is it just like free because you're going to the poor part of the city? Anyways, as soon as they make it back, they run over these road spikes and lose control and then crash straight down. Like, come on, gang. You didn't see that? He'd definitely be running over potholes in his city. So while they're knocked out in the car, Fortress and his goons pull up. It was them who put the trap there. His ass been looking for Will the entire movie, ever since he took that time. He checks Will's arm and realizes he doesn't have much time. But when they check Sylvia's arm, that was a jackpot. He takes almost all of it and then they dip. Will and Sylvia finally wake up and realize, damn, they're nearly out of time. She's been rich her whole life. She's never been this low. They hit the legs quickly and try to find help. Will goes straight to Burrell's house trying to get time. But when he gets there, his wife tells him after he gave him a decade, he drank himself to death. Damn! I guess he was a real drinker. So they needed plan B. They only had 2 minutes left. Will notices that Sylvia got real diamond earrings, so they run to the pawn shop and sell it for 48 hours. That guy ripped them off bad because he saw their time and he knew they had no choice. Will takes Sylvia to the payphone to call her father because he wanted 1,000 years donated to the people. And this was bad for the timekeepers because a big donation like that could mess up the currency and affect the rich, apparently. Will tells them to make the donation first thing in the morning and they will let Sylvia go. Tommy Shelby gets on the phone and tells him if he keeps moving like this, he gonna end up dead like his father. Yeah, Tommy knew Will's father before he was even born. They head back to Will's crib, freshen up, and in the morning they wait for the donation to hit. The timekeepers and Sylvia's father didn't do it. So Will tells Sylvia she can go home. They head downstairs so she can make the call, but at this point, this girl doesn't want to go home. She already caught feelings. The last 2 days has literally been the most fun she's ever had in her entire life. She goes downstairs to call her father, and while she's on the phone waiting, Ray pulls up from behind about to shoot Will. She turns around and ups the pole. Blow! Shoots his ass. Will grabs his gun and they steal his car. I guess that saying is really true. Good girls love bad guys. These two head back to New Greenwich and start causing chaos. They're wanted everywhere, but at first it's only Will's face on the news. But after that, Tommy pays Philippe a visit and tells him he's issuing a warrant for Sylvia's arrest. Philippe insists she's been kidnapped and not in the right state of mind, but Tommy wasn't buying it. It was obvious she didn't want to be rescued. The billionaire even tries to bribe, but that's one thing you can't do. Timekeepers can't be bought. So Will and Sylvia go on a full-on crime spree. They rob her father's banks, hand out stolen time, reverse robberies, and inspiring people to fight back against the system. Brody here even buys a gun and tells Fortress, "You ain't robbing me no more." And Fortress like, "I bet. You got it." Drives off, then quickly puts that car in reverse and catches his ass lacking. Blow! I guess that really was a waste of time. The timekeepers track Will and Sylvia down at this motel and Will realizes quick, so they jump out the window, dash down the street, and Tommy was on their ass. They were shooting back and forth at each other and Tommy Shelby was on their ass, not giving up. They get some distance and make it onto this bus, and the bus driver was like, "You two look familiar," and without missing a beat, Will just donates him hella time and then they take off. Now with a 10-year reward on them, they had to keep a low profile. They book out this motel and buy every room, but that Fortress dude was on the street timing people out so they can give out the location of where they're at. I guess he was trying to win the reward as well. This guy steps forward and tells him he knows which motel they're at, and just like that, they kick the motel door down, put the gun right in Will's face, then he sits him down at the table. He wasn't trying to take his time that easy. Nah, Fortress loves to time fight. Will's time drops a year, a month, a day, hours, until he's left with just 10 seconds and it looks completely over. Then he flips the script. He flips his wrist and starts taking all the time back. Fortress was watching his life disappear right in front of his eyes. As soon as Brody just drops down to a few minutes, Will pulls a pistol out of his shoe and then blow, blow, blow. Then fully times out Fortress. Squad wipe. So even with all that time they gave out, it wasn't making much of a difference. The government just kept raising the cost of living, so people just needed more time just to survive. They needed like 1,000,000 years.
I know we can get a million years.
They head back to New Greenwich, and damn, Philippe got like 10 bodyguards. Bro really plans on living forever. Sylvia creates a distraction and Will catches him lacking from behind. And I have nothing to say, but this is literally the worst security team ever. Fire all of them. They force Philippe upstairs and straight to the vault, and there it is. 1 million years. Nah, this guy was literally planning to live until the end of time. He's already pushing 250 years, and he got a million in the vault? Damn, how greedy. Philippe warns them that releasing that much time into the wrong time zone would cripple the system. Then he drops the line that every billionaire says,
"For a few to be immortal, many must die."
So they dip, and the timekeepers immediately realize that a million years has left the building. That amount of time flooding into the ghettos could crash the entire economy. The timekeepers try to block off the road, but for some reason they left a big ass gap in the middle. Will floors it and blasts us right through the checkpoint, and I guess their car was bulletproof. They make it back into the ghetto, but then bang, Tommy T-bones them. And I don't even know how this is possible because they were in front. Is there like a shortcut? Anyways, movie. With no time to waste, Will gets out the car and gives the million years to the little girl. She runs straight to Dayton, where people gather around and start topping up their clocks, spreading out the time throughout the city. Meanwhile, Will and Sylvia take off towards Livingston, with Tommy right behind them. He finally catches up to them and Will realizes something. Tommy grew up in the ghetto. He found his way out and spent his whole career making sure nobody else could. While Tommy is talking, he forgets the one thing that matters most. Time. He checks his arm and...
Oh!
He times out. These two weren't gonna make it to Livingston either. And honestly, this is stupid. They had a million years. They probably could have just kept a week, a couple of days or something. But nah, they have seconds left. They realize timekeepers always keep time in their car, so they sprint to Tommy's car. Will runs in, tops up his time, runs back out, transfers it to Sylvia just in time, and she survives. And damn, how slow is she? Because this guy ran there and back, and she was still not at the car. Anyways, these two go missing and they become the most wanted criminals, and I guess this was the beginning of Bonnie and Clyde. They pull up to an even bigger bank in Livingston, they grab their guns, and it was time to get
active.
Oh, they could have did a part 2.
When I watched this movie back in the day, it was much better than this.
Cause like when you watch stuff now, you be like, this is so unreal. You know what I'm saying?
But it could, like, what if life was like that though? Like what? Like, let's be real. What if life was like that? I think we all be.
They could definitely should have did a part 2.
They could have. Could have.
Yeah.
We're better script writers.
We're better. Yeah.
Y'all smell what's up, man. Let us know y'all thoughts in the comments for us down below.
Please
but
do.
until next time, y'all know how it go, man. I do go for the name DJ New Kid. This is
Sierra Nicole.
We are.
Kid and C.
We are.
Go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back